laser beak, ravage, prepare for battle, operation, warfare, eject, eject,
Hi, Collector's Corner here. Today we'll be taking a look at Transformers StudioSeries, Transformers the movie, Soundwave. There he's in the box, looking very much like Soundwave. His minions on the side, Buzzsaw, Laserbeak, and Ravage. Down below, he does have 28 steps from robot to boombox, and I do love that boombox icon right there. One side, you get a picture of Soundwave, Ravage at the top, Laserbeak at the top, Ravage at the bottom. One side, you get Smoldering Cybertron, apparently. He is, in fact, a leader class. On the back, you get Soundwave in his robot mode, in his tape deck mode. He does have 28 steps. His minions there, you get, at the top here, his green cap from the movie. And you get the little read-up that says, Soundwave sends his cassette troops on a spy mission. And that's all you need to know. At the top, you get Transformers movie, Soundwave, Buzzsaw, Laserbeak, and Ravage. And on the other side, you get that same picture of Soundwave. Very nice picture. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it for the box. So let's get him out of the box and see what it's actually like. So, here we have Soundwave in his robot mode as he comes in the package, and he looks like a very nice Soundwave. So let's get into his head for a moment. Raise this a bit. There is his nice Soundwave head. Very much Soundwave with a nice crest, red eyes. Very light silver mouth plate. It's not actually white, it's actually silver. The sides are also very light silver. Got a big Decepticon logo on his chest with a yellow trim on the outside. Nice transfer controls in his, I guess his crotch, his hips, whatever. Lower torso. Some nice detailing on the legs, more detailing down on his shins, nice silver paint down the shins and on the side, yellow for the vents there, and a darker silver gunmetal gray for the feet. The arms are that light gray with a red band, same thing on the other side. Nicely sculpted hands. Pretty nice, all in all. Back, not much of a backpack. Down legs, you can see he has sculpted volume knob and the switch here, which is interesting because you can't see them in either mode. Right here on the back in robot mode and in tape deck mode, they're covered up because they're on the side. So yeah, interesting they go to the trouble of sculpting those when you can't see them, but they are there. Well, all in all, Soundwave is pretty nice. It's pretty nice, very G1-y. I do like it. For full disclosure, this is the first G1 styled Soundwave I own. I own other Soundwaves, Cybertron Soundwave, Prime Soundwave, and Reactivate Soundwave, but yeah, this is the first G1 style Soundwave I own, and I really do like it. So, articulation wise, his head is on a ball joint and can rotate all the way around. It can look up slightly, it can look down. It does not have that much side to side, but there is some. But yeah, you get enough articulation there for many poses. Shoulders, they can rotate, they can move out past 90 degrees, which is good. You can untap them and they can fold back all the way. You can untap them further and they can fold forward across his chest. Yeah, pretty wide range of articulation on the shoulders there. He does get a bicep swivel. Mine is very tight, but it is there. He gets a double jointed elbow. So one joint of the elbow is actually tabbed in back there. But when you untab it, he does get full range of motion on the elbow. So that's quite nice. If you keep it untabbed, it can't fold straight. Once you straighten it out, it'll tab in like that. You have to untab it, which on mine is very tight. But there, full range of motion on the elbow. Sorry, not shoulder, elbow. He does get a wrist swivel, which is very nice, and his fingers can open and close. Not much, but they do open and close. One of his fingers is sculpted pointing, so he can press his eject button, and we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, it's nicely sculpted. He does have a waist swivel all the way around. Very nice. Fold up the rewind and fast forward here flaps, skirts. He can kick forward. He can kick back. He can kick out. He does have a thigh swivel. 90 degrees of knee bend. And yeah, you don't get it more even if you open the flap here. Just as far as it goes. On the feet, they can't point out, but they can point up slightly. They can rotate, and you do get enough ankle tilt, I say. These panels, though they might look like heels, they are not. That's as far as they go. But yeah, pretty well articulated. He does what he needs to do. He actually, I keep pushing those in. That's annoying. Anyway, he does what he needs to do. He moves at the right places, and he gets enough articulation to accomplish his little gimmick. So yeah. So for little gimmicks on his own, well, you can press his eject button here and open up his tape deck, or you can rotate his arm up like so. Put his finger on the button, and then if you squeeze on his arm, he'll eject his own tape deck, which is kind of interesting that he can do that. Yeah. Anyway, inside the tape deck, there's a lot of molded in detail. You see the spools there, all the detailing for the tape deck, very nicely done. Yeah. Very nice. And what, pray tell, did you place in that tape deck? Well, let's get on to the accessories now. Well, let's get the comparisons before we do the accessories, because the accessories are quite a few, and yeah, we need to go through them. So, for comparison, here it is with StudioSeries Starscream. StudioSeries Starscream is noticeably shorter at the head than Soundwave. Can't remember if that's accurate for the cartoon. I'm not so sure it is, but yeah. There's definitely a size difference. Here he is with Blitzwing, and they are about the same size. They're both leader class, so it makes sense. His head's still lower than Soundwave, though. Wow. Here he is with Megatron, Siege Megatron, because I still haven't been able to get a StudioSeries Megatron. Yeah, there it is. But I think that works fairly nicely. And here he is with StudioSeries A6 Prime. And Prime is quite a bit taller, interestingly enough. Yeah. In any case, that's it for comparisons. Hi, if you're liking this content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out. Let's go into his accessories now, and he does have quite a few. He has all of that for accessories. So, Let's start with tapes. He's got 3 tapes. Ravage in his tape mode. I think it's the weakest of the 3 because this is a really weird looking tape mode. You got Laserbeak and you got Buzzsaw in their tape mode, and they look okay. They look fine, just rectangles. You can take either of them and stick them in the tape. Yeah, eject them. You can rotate them around. They'll still fit. All 3 of them will fit. Like so. Yeah, that's what you can do with them. But of course, they do more than just live in Soundwave's chest, though. Just collapse for some reason. So, let's transform Ravage first. And the first thing you want to do to transform Ravage is move his front legs. You can't see that because this is moved. Sorry. Move his front legs out, like so. Rotate his hind legs out too. And then fold them down. I'm going to fold them up like that. And you want to fold down at this section and rotate around. And you can then rotate his front legs forward and pull them in. There is Ravage. You just want to close up his face here. And then you have Ravage in his Ravagey mode. It's Panther mode. And yeah, he gets some accessories. He gets his tail section and his missiles, or rocket boosters, if you will. That you want to take his rocket boosters here and use that peg into that tab and them into the port and peg them in like so. And then you want to take that tab right there and slide it into his butt right there between the top of his legs. It'll tab in there. There is Ravage in his Panther mode. He looks okay. The other Rocketeers are a bit tall, but what can you do? A bit high on him. But it's not terrible. Articulation-wise, nothing at the head because of how it transforms. The legs can open up, can fold at the elbow there. You can rotate back. Not much forward, but you can rotate back. He does get that ball joint up there, so you can do cat wings, stretch. It can rotate, but it's a bit hard to get it to rotate, and it'll pop off the tail. He also gets that hinge on the back, so you can make him sit if you want to. Like so. Yeah. Looks kind of nice, kind of cute when he's sitting down. And of course, the hind legs, so this keeps popping off. And the hind legs can move back and forth. And you can open them up, but only if you remove the tail. So yeah, kind of limited in that respect, but he does get the torso, ball joint, and the extra hinge there to make him sit. Oh, his tail also can wag up and down. It's okay, barely, but yeah, it'll usually pop out the assembly here. Anyway, onto Laserbeak and Buzzsaw. They transform exactly the same, so we'll transform Laserbeak. First thing you want to do is fold out the wings. And you want to come here and fold down his feet. You want to rotate him around and fold back his wings. And then you can pull out his head from here rotate forward, and there is Laserbeak in his condor mode. Has quite a bit of wingspan, so not bad. And yeah, Buzzsaw does the same thing, so pull out his wings, pull down his legs, rotate them back, and pull out his head, and there is Buzzsaw. And yes, they both have apparently silver stickers on the wings. I don't think they're stickers, but they look like stickers with Decepticon logos, upside down Decepticon logos. On the wing, yeah, same thing for Laserbeak. Red painted torso. All of this is red paint, so that's not bad. And yeah, little condor feet. Yeah, pretty nice. Articulation for the condors, well, it can move the head back and forth. You can move the actual head up and down slightly. The wings can move forward if you want, transformation, or they can fold down to flap. They can move up, unfortunately. And feet, well, if you can open slightly or close. That's about all they do. But of course, these guys also get accessories. These are the little guns here. And you need one of these sections with the port and the peg. What you want to do is insert the small peg there into the port and get the other side, and there you have the guns. Then you want to use these pegs here to peg into the ports on Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, and there you go. There they have their weapons. Same thing for the Buzzsaw here. And you tap them in to the back of Buzzsaw. And there you have both of them with their guns. Done in flat gray. They didn't get the silver paint of the wings on set, unfortunately. But they look good. I think they look fairly nice. Moving on to Soundwave now. And his accessories. Let me raise this up. Soundwave gets two accessories for himself. His two batteries. You get the traditional shoulder cannon with the little red missiles. Nice red stripe around the front. The handle. The little positive terminal. And he gets this other handheld gun, which has caused some controversy. And again, done in blue with a red stripe. The little positive terminal there, done in silver. And yeah, if you want to use it as a gun, you can push on the terminal here to slide the tip forward so you can grab it. Pull it all the way, and there's his gun with his silver tip. And now, as I said, it's caused controversy because the original toy had it positioned vertically, like that, not horizontally. The cartoon shows it mostly vertically, so yeah, it's odd that they chose to do it horizontally. But it is what it is, and yes, Soundwave can hold the gun in his hand, and you can place the other one in the port on his shoulder, like so, and there you have Soundwave all around up. But of course, that's not all. If you want, you can take the guns from the back of Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, rotate the centerpiece down to expose the peg, like so. And you can take the peg and place it in his hand, like so. Give him a double-barreled blaster kind of thing, like so. And you can do the same thing with Ravage's tail. Pull it out, rotate the missiles so they're facing forward, rotate the tail back, and then you can tab this into his hand. And give him missile launcher, or you can make it so that the tail is facing forward and face the missiles forward, like so. Yeah, unfortunately the missiles are hollow on one side, so you can't just rotate them. And there you can hold the missile launcher weirdly, but you can. Yeah, pretty decent. It's nice that he can use his minions' guns when they're not when they're in his chest. Oh yeah. But that's it for one more thing before we move on to transformation. You can't take his weapons, slide the tip back in, and you can peg them into the back. You want to fold out these panels here, and you can tab in the gun in that port and slot, like so, and the other one on the other side, like so. And then the tab on the panel will tab into the slot on the gun and supposedly keep it in place. Not the best connection, but it is there. There. And he can store his guns on his back. And the last thing he can do, because I know people will be asking, is can he sit in Starscream's throne? And yes, he can. He can totally sit on the throne if you want him to do that. It's not the best fit, but he does. He can do that. Anyway, we can now move on to transformation for this guy. And the first thing you want to do is push in his knees. This one already is pushed in, but yeah, you want to push in his knees. You want to rotate his arms up for now, and you want to open up the flap here with his hand. Close the fist and rotate the fist in. Rotate the fist in and close it back out. Same thing on the other side. Rotate the fist in and close it. With that done, you can rotate his waist all the way around to expose the other transfer controls. You want to flip it up so it's out of the way for now. You want to open up the panels down on his legs, both of them. You want to rotate his foot around, push it in the cavity, and then flip up this panel, like so. Then you want to close this panel, just this panel, keep that one open. Same thing on the other side, open the panels, rotate the feet, fold it in, rotate the panel out, close this panel, leave that one open. You want to rotate the leg out, like so, and keep it there for now. You want to keep the batteries in place. I'm going to open these up just for clearance. I want to untab the shoulder from that tab there. Make sure the elbows are locked in. Tab in and fold them back. So untab, fold it back, rotate, come straight down. And then you can open up these panels on this waist piece here. You want to open up this section here, fold in his head, close it back up, Now you can bring up the leg, rotate it in, and this tab will tab into that slot in front of the hinge right there. And then this tab will tab in to that slot, and that tab on his arm will tab in to that slot. So lots of tabbing in. Tab that in, tab that in, tab that in. There you go, one side. Same thing on the other side. Rotate the leg up, fold it in, tab it in, and tab it in, and then you can fold down the panel with transfer controls, and there is Soundwave. Just need to fold these back in. There is Soundwave in his tape deck mode. And yeah, he looks okay in his tape deck mode. It's just a box. And there he is. Can you still eject his chest? Yeah. Go closer. Still the same chest piece there. Decepticon logo. Get new transfer controls. These times they have molded details like the play, fast forward, and rewind. The pause and the record button there. You also get the record light now, right there. Yeah, pretty nicely detailed. You get these right and left speakers. The side, just his leg. The back, the same back as Soundwave had in broad mode, and his waist piece there is visible. No panel there to cover anything up. But yeah. Also, yeah, you do want to keep the batteries in place for this mode, because if you remove them, you can remove them though. You can totally remove them from here. But if you do that, then there's no longer tabs anywhere. So yeah, you do want to keep them in place. So like so, and yeah, that keeps the panel kind of in place. It still kind of pops out, but it at least keeps it more secure than without them. Like that. Yeah, keeps that panel from opening. So there he is in his boombox mode, and yet you can transform these guys back into tape mode. Like that, and insert them. And there he is with Buzzsaw in his chest, Laserbeak, Ravage, can just stay around here with him. There he is in tape deck mode. Oh, yeah, he doesn't do much in tape deck mode, just, ejecting himself. So there you go. Oh, yeah, pretty nice. I do like him. For comparison to this mode, kind of hard, but we'll try. There you go. For comparison, here he is with Eject. Yeah, not much of a comparison. Hey, how do you compare tape deck? Here it is with a tank, who's also his boss, right? Another tank, because why not? And last but not least, here is with a truck. Yeah. In any case, it's a good size for a tape deck. And that is all for Soundwave. So yeah, that's it for Soundwave. I forgot to mention he can actually hold Laserbeak and Buzzsaw on his arm. It's got a little tab there that slides into the notch on Laserbeak's feet there. Yeah, you can do. It's not the best connection, but yeah, you can do that. Talk to Laserbeak. So yeah, there he is. I think he's a pretty good Soundwave. I think he does everything he needs to do for a Soundwave. I think the tapes are fine, except for Ravage, a bit on the rough side. And yeah, I mean, it's still okay. He gets a lot of postability, which is very nice. But yeah, he could. I mean, previous Ravages have been better than this. But still, it's not terrible. Nice Decepticon logo on his shoulder there, which is very nice. And little red eyes, which I forgot to show. They are there. Got a very thick head, but hey. In any case, yeah, Soundwave's pretty good. I honestly do like him. I'll have a link in the description for Amazon affiliated if you want to click on that and try to buy one for yourself. It's very, very nice. I do like the tape mode, the tape deck mode. It's also very G1-y. So yeah, that works fairly nicely. All in all, yeah, this is a pretty good Soundwave. 8.5 out of 10, almost 9, I think. Does everything he's supposed to do. He has all the features, all the accessories. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. So, with that said, I thank you for watching. Please follow us on Blue Sky. Follow us on Patreon. Links in the description. Don't remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Ring that little bell for notifications. And you can catch the transformation from Boombox or Tape Deck mode back to Robot mode. And the link in the description and pinned comment below as well. If you want to see that. And yeah, again, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.